questions. Yes, sir. Oh, get these women some cards. I wonder why we ain't got no questions from them. But not the married sisters. Ask your husband, of course. If he wants to ask us, that's fine. But get them some cards. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Just kind of based on loosely on what you just said. So, as a husband, as a father, you learning in this truth still. How do you teach your family based on some of those things that you actually still learning yourself?
Oh, one thing I do not do is I don't speak something I don't know. Go to Psalms 51. Go to Psalms 51. I don't do that. When I speak, that's just it. It's in stone. I meant it. Right? Where Jeremiah at? Where Jeremiah at? Right Jeremiah. When I say something, I mean it. All praise for that. Oh, okay, all right. My brother. What I say? Psalms 51. Psalms 51.
Start at verse 1, Cap.
No. Jump down for the sake of time. Jump down to verse start at verse 12. Watch this.
Psalms chapter 51 and verse 12.
Uh-huh.
Restore to me the joy of thy salvation, and uphold me with thy free spirit.
Uh-huh.
Then will I teach transgressors thy ways,
Uh-huh.
and sinners shall be converted unto thee.
Right. So I went here because David understood, I got to get right first. I have to fix something within myself before I can say something. Just like, for instance, I remember when you and Hadar came in, you came in first, right? You had to get yourself built up, get right. And then what you got, you took it to your wife. And then after time, right, she came in. I had to do the same thing with my wife. I found out about this, and it was crazy to her and all the same shit. We all got the same story, right? But after we got right, we taught our wife, and then they came in. You know what I mean? So it's that same principle. A lot of times what we'll hear as men, especially, we'll put on another man's suit. Y'all are familiar with that term? We'll put on another man's suit, you know? And what that'll end up doing, just like you'll hear Bishop say something to his wife, correct his wife or something like that, and you'll think you can do that. You'll think you can do that. And then your wife, like, you dry for the next 2 weeks. Y'all, you understand what I'm saying? Ain't nothing you can do about it. You too embarrassed to complain. I would be too. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to laugh too. I'm going to laugh. But I'm going to help you, but I'm going to laugh. I'm going to laugh. That's fair, right? Brother's like, yes. That ain't fair. Y'all wouldn't laugh? Come on. Yeah, that's funny, bro. Come on, man. They're like, yeah, we would laugh. But don't do that. Don't put on another man's suit, you know? So what David is saying is that very thing. The Lord deal with him in such a way that he go out and deal with the transgressors, right? 2 Peter chapter 4 and 11. So we can't rush, what we want out of our family, and like I tell y'all all the time, and I mean this to sisters too. I mean this to the women too, especially married women. You have to learn to love a battle. And I don't mean that like, ooh, I'm about to tell this nigga off to, ooh, watch when I see this mother. Now, I ain't talking about that. What I'm talking about is the battle is not between you and your Lord, sisters. The battle is between your flesh and Satan. That's the battle. And your flesh is also your husband's flesh. You two are one flesh. So you have to, when our minds are on one accord, like, oh, the devil is attacking us. The devil is coming. That's what this is. I know I think I got a point. I know I think I got to, like, I know the reason, and it's him. I think that. I know. But no, this Satan. Because everything was going good. Everything was going good. What it mean when everything going good, y'all? Yeah, what scripture? Yeah, read verse 13.
The book of Luke, chapter 4, verse 13.
No, you got to kind of get the meat. So, go up to read verse 12. Read verse 12.
And Jesus answering said unto him,
Mhm.
It is said, Thou shalt not tempt the Lord thy God.
This is how Christ responded to Satan tempted. So sisters will have a point, right? Sisters will have a point, right, sisters? Sisters will have a point, and they can't wait till they see this nigga. I can't wait till I see this nigga, right? Or my Lord. I can't wait till I see my Lord. Right? So, but Christ, when tempted by Satan, this is how he responded. Whatever the temptation is, and this is a lesson to all of us, whatever the temptation is, right? Read.
Verse 13. And when the devil had ended all the temptation.
No. Read verse 12 again.
Verse 12. And Jesus answering said unto him, It is said, Thou shalt not tempt the Lord thy God.
Uh-huh.
And when the devil had ended all the temptation.
Right. So the devil, when the devil ended his temptation based on what? Jeremiah.
A devil ended his temptation when he figured out or found out that he couldn't make him break at that time.
Resist Satan and what?
The devil will flee.
He will flee. So when the husband and the wife is one flesh, one accord with that, it don't matter. Things are going to happen. That's you're going to have trouble in the flesh. But when you in one accord with that, just like Abraham and Sarah. Just like Abraham and Sarah, even as Sarah obeyed Abraham, calling him Lord, whose daughters you, right? She was right. She was right. Right, sisters? Sarah was correct. She would have become wrong had she, right. She would have become wrong. So she had to tell Satan the same thing. Satan, get behind me. Get behind me. And what Abraham do? Same thing. Satan, get behind me. That's why the Lord was dealing with him. Genesis 18 and 18. Lord said, I can't wait to tell him how great of a man I'm going to make him. Remember, y'all know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm talking about? Watch this. Go to Genesis 18. Hold on. Finish. Read that, then go to Genesis 18. Read verse 13.
Verse 13. And when the devil had ended all the temptation, he departed from him for a season.
So that's the point also. For a season. For a season. He's coming back. You're going to have trouble in the flesh. Go to Genesis chapter 18. It's important that brothers understand this point. As the sisters understand the point of Sarah, right? Abraham is our father. Genesis 18. Genesis chapter 18, start at verse 17. Watch this. Look what the Lord say. Because the plan was not to deal with him, or was to keep this from him. So, meaning send the angels away from this land, away from him, and not let him in on this. Watch this, read.
The book of Genesis chapter 18 and verse 17.
Go ahead.
And the Lord said, Shall I hide from Abraham that thing which I do?
He say, should I hide from Abraham that thing which I shall do? Read.
Seeing that Abraham shall surely become a great and mighty nation, and all the nations of the earth shall be blessed in him. For I know him, that he will command his children and his household after him, and they shall keep the way of the Lord, to do justice and judgment, that the Lord may bring upon Abraham that which he hath spoken of him.
So the Lord like, no, I gotta tell him. I gotta deal with him. Abraham was the Lord's what? Friend. That was his friend. Like, I gotta talk to him, man. I gotta tell him. Come on, man. I gotta holler at my G, right? So read on. It's a little bit more.
Verse 20. And the Lord said, because the cry of Sodom and Gomorrah is great, and because their sin is very grievous.
No, that's it. All right. So the Lord dealt very closely with Abraham because he did what? He commanded his household. He was faithful, right? He was faithful to the Lord. He was obedient, right? that was accounted to him for his righteousness, right? So that was the point in that. But as far as dealing with the wife, go to 2 Peter 4:11. It's important that brothers not wear britches too big, grow. It was a matter of fact, it was a little thing. Your wife, not your wife, Mike's wife posted it earlier. And one of the points was the grow together, right? Sis, can you do me a favor? Can you send that to me? That thing you posted earlier, please? I'm gonna send it to you, IT. I want y'all to see something real quick. Yes, please. All right, so IT. I sent it to IT Media. All right. So everybody see on the bottom, the bottom left-hand corner, it says they become, right? We know the scripture. This is why a man leaves his father and his mother and become attached to his wife, cleave unto his wife, right? It's a little bit Christian, but we get what's actually happening, right? This is why a man leaves his father and mother and becomes attached to his wife, and they become one flesh. So note the part that says they become, and that's the growing old together, right? It says a process of learning, friendship, and trust, right? A process of learning, friendship, and trust. So learning is how the friendship happens, right? Success is how the trust happens, right? You don't trust somebody, they constantly, like as a man, right? You constantly correcting your wife and you're wrong, right? You're wrong. And she got a, yes, Lord, yes, my Lord, yes, my Lord, wrong, just wrong. Just always wrong. Does she trust you? No, she might trust the Lord. So she keep being wrong with your ass. But she don't trust you. She trusts the Lord. That's why you stay together. That's why you stay together. And the same thing for sisters. A lot of times sisters feel like it's them that's keeping a man. And I'm talking about sisters in this truth. It's not you. A lot of times, it's not you. It's the man's loyalty and faithfulness to the Most High God. That's what's actually going on. God forbid y'all not having that conversation and put that out there and just leave it there. All right? So it says they become one flesh. So it says deep intimacy between two people. What does that mean?
I'm gonna say when it goes into enmity, I don't know how to say that word, but
Intimacy.
into
See.
okay.
Intimacy.
Intimacy.
There you go.
I would say really knowing the person you're dealing with. I know it's going
Right.
to sex, but more deeper, I would think.
Right. Exactly. It's not just sex. It's not just sex. Right? You married long enough, that becomes a chore in and of itself. Just right? But deep intimacy between two people goes hand in hand with the process of learning, friendship, and trust. And trust cannot be built if you're continuously wrong. You always wrong. You don't know nothing. You're the man. You was born a man, and you happen to come into the truth, and you got on purple and gold and all, and this part and all this stuff is happening now. So now she has to be that. But does she trust you? No, absolutely not. Is there a friendship that also is based on her faithfulness and loyalty to the Most High God, but not you? And everybody starts off that way. Everybody. So don't be discouraged by that, men. Don't be discouraged by that. Sisters, don't be discouraged in your Lord by that. This is a process. That's why I started off by saying the main thing is don't wear another man's suit. When you do open your mouth, don't be wrong. Do not be wrong. And over the course of time, that will have built trust, right? And she will seek to you for friendship. You understand what I'm saying? Like in Sirach 33:19. It's better that they seek to you than them to you. And that's about anything. All right? But all right, thank you, IT. Now go to 2 Peter 4:11.
Can I do you 1 Peter 4:11? Is that what you want, Cap?
First Peter. Thank you.
1 Peter
And don't just be agreeing with me. You know what I'm saying? Like if y'all don't understand, just say go in a little bit on that.
All right, 1 Peter chapter 4, verse 11.
Uh-huh.
If any man speak, let him speak as the oracles of God.
Don't be wrong, right?
If
He's the only thing that's not wrong. I said, don't be, he says, if any man speak, let him speak as the oracles of God. Do not be wrong. Just because she your wife and she gotta hear your words, don't mean that we can be wrong. Your job is to guide and lead. That's your job. Right? And do it wisely. Right? Go ahead.
If any man minister,
Read.
let him do it as the ability which God giveth.
So the ability is where you at right now, that's what you speak on. Where you at right now, that's what you deal with your wife on. Like David said, after the Lord deal with me, then I'm going to go teach transgressors their ways. But it's going to be based on the portion of the level that the Lord dealt with me on. Meaning when I speak, I'm not going to be wrong. I'm not going to be wrong. It's going to be right. That shit going to be in stone. She might kick and scream. She might have a whole lot to say. Let that happen. Find me that scripture. The servant that says, I will not do it and then go do it only angers the master. You know what I'm talking about? Where he at? Oh, okay. Watch this. I'm going to show you something. I'm going to show you that she's going to do it. I'm going to show you. Watch this. Because maybe I'm just talking SH, right? Watch this.
The book of Sirach, chapter 19 and verse 21.
Uh-huh.
If a servant say to his master, I will not do as it pleaseth thee, though afterward he do it, in anger of him that nourish him.
What does that mean? Yes, sir. He beat you, bro.
Shalom, Cap.
Hey, shalom.
It just means like you can kick and scream, but you just gonna piss them off because you got to do it anyway.
That's all she will have accomplished. You understand? What you said still stands. She's going to do it. Only thing that was accomplished, only thing the woman accomplished, your wife accomplished, was making you angry. That's it. You understand? But it's going to happen. So there's no point in the back and forth, a man arguing with the woman. It's no value. It's pointless. It's pointless. She's going to do it. You understand? If you're right. If you're right. You understand? So this thing not up there no more. So what we have to do is make sure that we are encouraging them in the right direction, teaching them not an evil lesson, right, but a righteous one, and we're building that deep intimacy. Put it back up there for me. I don't want to butcher it. Right. So we're dealing right in the process of learning, building that friendship, building that trust, right? And building that deep intimacy between yourself and your wife. You cannot be wrong. A lot of times, we, especially as black people, we just like to use our mouth. We just say, we don't really care how stupid it sounds or the weight of what actually is being said or the point of what actually is being said. We don't really care. And we've been, you listen to our music. It's evident. There's just a bunch of stupid stuff. It has no topic. It's just, I got jewelry. I be on the block and then I've got my bands too. You was just talking about the block. But go back to the bands. Wait, hold on. So we learn to talk like that, and that makes sense to us. but it's not what the Lord would have, and it's not what is conducive to friendship and trust and deep intimacy between two people. You understand? So the most poignant thing I can tell you as far as your question is, when you speak, do not be wrong. That should make all of us far less talkative than we are with our wife. All of us. Everybody understand? All right. And the same goes with your children. Same goes for your children. No different. All right?
What is a nation? Nation is men leading by example. Nation is family. Nation is community. Nation is children with role models.